Hello there everybody, my name's Katathi, and welcome to the Square Enix E3 2019 press conference recap. That's a mouthful, isn't it? This is going to be the last of the recaps, because with the Nintendo Direct I actually did that one live, so go ahead and go check that out, as well as the past 4 recaps for Microsoft, Bethesda, Devolver Digital, and Ubisoft, the other 4 that I was actually really interested in. But Square Enix was the last one I was interested in, just because Square Enix is a very, very notable company, has a very strong lineup of games, and this year they did not disappoint. There's a lot to talk about. There's not really any software sort of things compared to the other ones. There's a few things I do want to I don't want to supremely gloss over, but I do want to mention that they were parts that I am excited for, but there's not too much to talk about just because they're either remakes, insane amount of remakes, or just not too much information is known. I will say, as far as games that I'm interested in, just right off the bat, that we don't have a lot of information for. They're already out or they're just remakes. We got Crystal Chronicles for Final Fantasy VIII remasters coming out. We got The Last Remnant. We got 2 games coming from Japan over now to the West. There's a lot of games that straight up just got either remastered, brought over, and it's awesome. It's absolutely awesome. I don't want to touch too much time upon those, though, primarily because, well, they're remastered games as well, and I want to get focused on the new stuff as well as stuff you guys know I'm going to talk about. So, for the biggest ones, I'm going to save those to the end, so feel free to skip to the end or whatever for those. But let's just talk about some of the other notable ones there before we jump into some, probably the 2 biggest ones in my opinion. So let's first talk about Life is Strange 2. Now, I've never played the original Life is Strange or the adventure game that came shortly thereafter, but I know Life is Strange is supposed to be a very emotional storytelling game. There's a lot of choices there, there's a lot of tough subject matter, and even the little sequel, I guess you can say, that was revealed last year, also had some really tough subject matter as well, and some very, very heartstring-based gameplay. The fact that Life is Strange 2 was announced there, and that it can be played, it's awesome. It's awesome. I wish I got into Life is Strange, the series, when it came out. Better late than never, I guess, but I'm excited to see what Life is Strange 2 entails. Not too much to really talk about for this one, it's just, I'm ready for my emotions to be destroyed. I'm ready to have all of the feelings. I will say, though, for the trailer, I don't know if this was just me, but having, other YouTubers, doing their face cam and just having, those as part of the trailer, I like doing the face cam, what I'm doing right now, but having that as part of the trailer kind of just seems strange to me, I guess? I don't know. It's just, that might just be my own opinion there, but it didn't detract from the game that all there for me. It just felt a little strange. But overall, I'm ready to try to experience Life is Strange 2. I probably should play Life is Strange 1 beforehand, and just make sure my emotions are just completely and utterly destroyed. So that would be fun. But yeah, I'm excited. Another game that was mentioned that I'm excited for as well, this one very much so because it's from the creators of Bulletstorm and Gears of War Judgment, is Outriders. Now, they didn't really show too much of Outriders. Really, the only thing that we can see was from the computer screens of the Polish game company, People Can Fly. Fantastic game studio name, by the way. We can see them on the computers in the background. It seems like it's going to be a third-person shooter sort of game, similar to Gears of War in that respect. However, it seems like it's going to be more open-world kind of based, as well as very dark, very gritty, and it seems there's a huge emphasis on teamwork because of the loneliness feeling. Now, will there be any AI companions that are going to be helping out? Does it always have to be online? That's what we're going to have to wait to see. They didn't really show off too much, and really all information I have is just from those computer screens that were being shown in the background when they were talking to the main game director. It seems really interesting, and the cinematic trailer with the fire magic sort of thing that they were doing, it seems like it's supposed to be an isolation sort of game where aliens have just taken over and you're just kind of the last line of defense. But you're not they're just oh, we're gonna protect other people. It's you were legitimately the last line of defense. So I'm excited for it. I very much am. I love the third-person shooter games. Gears of War, near and dear to my heart. Gears of War Judgment, I heard gets a bad rap, but honestly, I'm excited for it, for this game, for Outriders. And Gears of War Judgment, I didn't think was that bad, but I know other people have different opinions. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. And then another game that was interesting to me there just to witness was called Oninaki, I believe is how it's pronounced, where it's essentially, it looks like, a top-down third-person game where you're essentially trying to stop the dead from trying to return, I think is the best way to describe it. A lot of the trailer talked about like death and how there's souls that are teetering on the point of life and death, and they don't want to go to the afterlife, and you have to like push them through. And I think that's super interesting. At first I thought it was going to be like a different game that I played at E3 in 2018, and I was like, oh my gosh, did they finally, like, is it going to be coming out? It wasn't, but Oninaki, it seems very promising. It seems like it's going to be one of those like heartthrob stories, not heartthrob, but like heart-aching stories. Let's go with that. Your emotions are going to be played with. Square Enix is really good with like messing with people's emotions. If you've ever played a Square Enix game, you know that your emotions are going to get messed with. We're going to be talking about a game at the end that you guys know is going to mess with your emotions if you play it. I only know of it because of spoilers and such, but I'm not going to refer to those, don't worry. But for Oninaki, I feel like it's going to be a very emotional sort of game. It's interesting that we're going to be focusing on a single watcher and then helping, I guess maybe it might be like protecting a soul, or maybe we have to just let the soul, or trying to chase down a soul. I don't know. The story is really up to interpretation, but I'm very eager to play Oninaki. I probably may end up streaming it at some point once I'm able to play it. Like, it'll be fun. Now, these next two games are, I guess you can consider, like, one of them is outright DLC for a game, and then the other is an expansion. But I do want to give these two special mention. Like I normally say, I'm not going to focus on like the remakes, remastered sort of stuff. There's one special case for this one. Once again, we'll get to it. But these two I feel like deserve special mention because of just the games itself that it's going to be about. One of which is near and dear to my heart, and another is near and dear to everyone else's. So let's talk Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom Hearts 3, real quick. The Remind, I believe is what it's called, the DLC. You're not seeing anything like up here just because. I just want to touch base on this really quick. I'm excited for it. I still have not played Kingdom Hearts 3. I have the game. I have all of the games at this point. I have not touched it, but I know it's going to be fantastic. I do want to let you guys know that if you have Kingdom Hearts 3, be on the lookout for that DLC. If you have not seen the Square Enix portion, there's no spoilers as far as I know. It didn't seem like any spoilers to me, at least. But you guys will have fun with it, and I know once I finally get to Kingdom Hearts 3, I'll probably have fun with it as well. Now, the other one, though, that I will give a lot more time to, at least regarding like DLC, and this one expansion-based, is Final Fantasy XIV, A Realm Reborn, which I believe it's now the Shadowbringers expansion, which is coming out, which gives 2 new job classes, I believe they said 2 new races, a whole big like expansion pack, new raids, dungeons, places to go, things to see, stories to deal with. The reason I want to talk about this one, though, is Final Fantasy XIV is a game that is near and dear to my heart. Out of all the MMOs I've ever played in my life there and got to like play from the start moving forward, I was one of the first people to play Final Fantasy XIV, at least when they did like the public servers and such. Like, I'm not saying like alpha beta stuff this time. I actually, bought the game day one and started playing it. Unfortunately, time permitting, I was not able to play that much of the game, but it's still a really fun game, and I really wish that I could have played more. And last year, 2018, they were showing off a new raid for Final Fantasy XIV. I was like, I'm so glad the game is still going. The player base is strong, talking to people in line. It was fantastic because they were just super stoked about the game. And then now there's this third expansion. And the fact that they said that, like, it's still open to new players, because that's the reason why I stopped most MMOs, is because, like, achievements and such get, like, you feel like you're never going to get them, or you just feel like drained from it, and it just doesn't seem cool anymore. This game, Final Fantasy XIV Realm Reborn, if I had the time, I probably still would be playing this game. I probably would be, like, in between streaming and making videos like this and working, like, I would be playing the game. But because time doesn't permit, I can't. So I am jealous of you guys who play this game and are going to be enjoying Shadowbringers. I may have to get back. I may have to put aside time in my schedule just to get back into the game, because the fact that there's new jobs and that it's still open for new players to come in and enjoy, and that it's just open for everyone, because it's a very open game and a lot of fun. And the fact that there's also 2 new jobs, I believe it's like Dancer and like the Gunslinger, which is really cool. There's 2 new races. I can't think of their names off the top of my head, and just the graphics, cinematic. Like, I was trying to compare it in my head to like WoW and Rift, just in my head. Rift being an older MMO, and then WoW, of course, is World of Warcraft. Final Fantasy XIV Realm Reborn just blows the graphics out of the water, and just how everything looks and how animated it is. It just... Please support Shadowbringers when it comes out. Once again, I don't pay too much attention to the release dates there because I just kind of go with the flow of things a lot of times. So if I think this one's also coming out way later. I think one of the games here just came out today. But when Shadowbringers comes out, if you've not tried Final Fantasy XIV Realm Reborn, try it. Give it a try. I know you will enjoy it. I feel confident in saying that. I had a lot of fun, and I hope you do. I feel like I know you will, though. And when Shadowbringers comes out, I may just get back into the game, and I'll let you guys know if I do. So that's pretty much it for majority of the games I want to talk about there that kind of got some time there to show off trailers and a little bit of talking about. Want to also give special mention to Battalion 1944 and Circuit Superstars, I believe is what the name is. Both games are part of the Indie Showcase. That it's great to see Square Enix is helping out the indie developers as well. Those games aren't my cup of tea there, but I do want to give them special mention because it's good to see Square Enix is at least attributing to the consumers there that they don't have, like, to game developers that may not have had that spotlight, and it's great that Square Enix is helping out. But I know there are two games that people probably want me to talk about, and I want to talk about them as well because both I'm getting. I will get, as I say. First off, I'm going to talk about Avengers, Marvel's Avengers. I've watched the Avengers movie, and I've played the card game Legendary, for those who know. And for Avengers, it seems very promising. As far as gameplay, we didn't get to see really any gameplay. It seemed very cinematic-based. There might have been some gameplay incorporated. It just was more cinematic. But it seems like it's going to be a very solid game. The voice acting lineup is fantastic. I agree with the crowd, though. Where is Hawkeye? He's part of it. Like, where is Hawkeye? Come on now. But overall, like, I feel like it will be a very, very fun game. And it's good that there's, like, free updates. The heroes will be fine. I just have a question regarding the trailer, because they didn't, once again, show off too much. And it's a very interesting take on the Avengers there. I really enjoy the concept where the Avengers are the outlaws in this case. And because of being set up, it seems like. But you have you have Captain America being featured and talked about a ton and hyped up, but we all saw in the trailer he died? Or he's mortally injured? He's Captain America, so I imagine he's coming back, but, like, just recapping on that, like, that's in the original trailer. So it's not like so much spoiler based. It's like literally there is a statue erected of Captain America. They are referencing Captain America dying. Like, what? Is there more to this? That, like, he's just gonna pop back up? I have not seen the Captain America movie, so maybe there's something I'm not sure. I don't know about. But, like, I don't know. That just stuck out to me. That's like, what happened? Like, how did he die from that? I feel like he shouldn't have died. He's a freaking super soldier, for crying out loud. But then it's interesting to see, like, even the Avengers after 5 years in the game, just like battling yelling at each other and like bickering amongst each other that they're outlaws and such. And I'm interested to see how the game plays out. I may not be entirely there for the story, just because, in my opinion, having it be like 5 years later and they still haven't done it, I'm like, really? I would have tried to, like, at least if I was a superhero, come on, I would try to right the wrongs immediately. You can't just be like, yeah, we screwed up, bye, and then left it like that. Like, I feel like that's just strange, right? But I'm excited for the game there. It seems like there's also going to be a lot of heroes. There is co-op, so I'm going to get some friends together to play it. I think it's going to be good. I'm intrigued. I'm a little skeptical in the story and, like, the stuff they showed off, but I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued. Alright, and then let's talk Final Fantasy VII Remake. Now, starting off, I'm going to be upfront. I've never played Final Fantasy VII. The only ones I played are Crystal Chronicles and Realm Reborn. Those are the only two Final Fantasy games I've ever played. And I've had Final Fantasy VII spoiled a little bit, but I'm really hyped for this, okay? I know people have been waiting for this a while. When Cloud was in Smash Bros, people were talking about it. It's been teased numerous times. People have been like, why is it getting delayed? Why is this? So on and so forth. And I was very skeptical. I'm not going to lie. I was very skeptical going into watching the trailer. Not because, of the tricky development cycle for the remake, but just because I'm a new player. I'm brand new to the game. And I feel like I would get utterly destroyed for playing that game first compared to playing the original first, right? But I was so glad when they announced that, like, new players would be able to jump right in. There's 2 discs of games, they were saying, I believe. Like 2 Blu-rays of discs or something. 2 Blu-rays of discs? Wow. There's a lot of content to the game, okay? And the first part of it is like a remaster, not a remaster, like a complete new remake of a game, like a completely new game itself, a story and everything. That seems dope. And then there's the second one, which is more like the remake, the remaster portion of the remake. And it's like incredibly open to everybody. The combat's very different than what Final Fantasy VII was, but like the tactical mode, changing between the characters, like moving around the battlefield, it looks so good. And I'm glad that as a new player, I would be able to like jump right in and not be like very confused. That's why I've always been afraid of playing some Final Fantasy games, is because I never knew if they connected at all, and some people would be telling me I played this game first, then go to this one. But with 7, with the remake, I'm glad that I can just jump in and play and now understand more of what's going on. It sucks that I got spoiled, and hopefully it's not going to affect me like playing that game, playing that for the first time. But it seems like a really fun game. When they were watching, I was on the edge of my seat. Like, and that's not like, there's a lot of trailers out there. We've talked about Microsoft, Bethesda, Devolver Digital, and Ubisoft. I go back and forth once again. And now Square Enix, and then also the Nintendo Direct that was a while back too. And like, there were some trailers that did excite me, but I don't think any excited me more than Final Fantasy, which is surprising since I've never played the Final Fantasy game. Square Enix does a very good job of, like, they had that as the forerunner, albeit, yes, I'm talking about this at the end of the video, but that's just because I want to dedicate the time to it and just have that as like this final portion, right? I'm excited. Everything looks really cool. I have a lot of questions as well. Not so much like nitpicky questions, but like with gear to the game. Like, is gear going to change? I know Cloud has the Buster Sword. Can we get enhanced version of Buster Swords? I know there's materia, I think is what it's called, that you put into the sword. It looks like you can see that. That's cool. Does it change the appearance of the Buster Sword? Can it get longer? Sephiroth showing up. Tifa, like, would armor change as well? Like, I like some of the aesthetic. I like aesthetic things in games, right? I like it when you can change gear and it shows up on your character. I like it when you change swords and, like, in Kingdom Hearts, like Keyblades, changing, and it changes the appearance. It's really cool to me. So I'm wondering, like, if there's, like, with the gear-based system, because it's an RPG. I'm guessing there's probably going to be a gear-based system. There's items, whatnot. Is there going to be, like, a system that, like, shows off what you're wearing? Is it all just going to be the same? I know the original, right? They couldn't handle that to, like, just change, like, what the outfits were. But just, for, like, the updated sake, is it going to be a case? I'm not sure. I'm very, very interested to see how this all plays out. I have to say, I'm with the room when Tifa was shown. I know who Tifa is, and when everyone was screaming in the room, Tifa, I was like, yeah, no, I'm on board. I'll scream too if I was not in the small room and people were sleeping when I was watching this. And then Cloudbeam, and then Barrett, and them taking on the Scorpion tank looking thing. And everything being so cinematic. That's what really got me, is like, they're fighting and there's still cinematic stuff going on. You can still be fighting if you know where to shoot and where to attack from. And just, there's so much strategy. I want this game. Like, I say that really shocked, but honestly, like, as somebody who's never played many Final Fantasy except for the MMO and a very, very big knockoff, like, sort of side game to it, this one I'm just so excited for. Like, I want March 3rd to come here as soon as possible so I can get the game, get the collector's edition, because, oh my gosh, my collector's list has just started going through the roof. My wallet is crying. But I want to get it. And I think you guys should too. If you've never played Final Fantasy like myself, I would say listen to developers and say, hey, if it's a game that's accepting of new players, go for it. Join me in the adventure. And I think it's going to be, I know, based on how much time and effort they've been putting into it, I feel confident it will be a good game. I'm hopeful, but I'm going to say with confidence it should be a good game. It will be. You never know with trailers, but with all the time and effort, I hope it will be a good game. And I'm excited. I'm supremely excited. With this entire conference, I have been super excited. I've been stumbling over my words this entire time because there's so much stuff, and I could go on for hours about every single game. But it's just, this one was a good one. It was a good one. And that's going to be it there for the Square Enix E3 recap for 2019, rather. They did really well. Square Enix did really well. If people wanted me to like rank them as well, I'm not too much into the ranking, but Square Enix is up there for just a really, really good conference. It was fantastic. Final Fantasy VII, Marvel's Avengers, we got Life is Strange 2, like the Kingdom Hearts DLC, we got remasters up the wazoo, Last Remnant. It's really, really good. They did very, very well, and I'm glad to see that Square Enix, they've always been known as like a pretty reputable game company, at least in my eyes. And the fact that they definitely delivered this E3, I'm excited. I hate the fact that I'm not there right now enjoying playing the games the first time, but it's still a fun time. It's still going to be fun, and I'm excited for the games to come out. As far as the recaps go, this is the last recap of the whole set, so hopefully you guys have been enjoying the recaps itself. Hopefully everything's been turning out alright. And yeah, this is definitely a different video from the norm. Maybe we might do some more later for some other game announcements. Maybe another Nintendo Directs in the future. If there's Square Enix announcements, Microsoft, let me know if you guys want to see more of some of this type of stuff. I'm not entirely used to this, but hey, I'm learning, so I liked it. This is good. This is enjoyable. Now, if you excuse me, I need to go and take out my scratch paper from my good old notebook right behind me and start writing down all of the games that I need to purchase and all the collector's editions I need to buy. Because this back little bookshelf dresser needs to get more on it if there wasn't stuff on it already. My wallet is sad. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Have a wonderful day, night, morning, afternoon, and or evening. My name is Katathi, and I'll see you guys next time for whatever's next to come. See you guys later. Peace.